Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, huge massive thank you for the support. So again, I'm still with this Cottage Garden kit, which is the free kit that comes with magazine number 75. You get this beautiful kit, Cottage Garden kit. There's 4 sets of 4 sheets of toppers. Obviously you get your printed and foil cardstock, sorry. You get some printed papers, and you also get a huge happy birthday die. So today I'm going to be playing with the No Place Like Home. So I'm going to make 2 sort of 6x6 cards, but hopefully they are going to both be a little bit different from each other. So hopefully should keep you interested. Okay, so I'm starting with a piece of 6x12 cardstock for my first card. And I'm just going to come in and I'm going to score that at the 6-inch mark. So just bring that over, give that a burnish down. And then because I want to do a twisted easel, I need to score this again. Now, so my card, I want my fold to go from this corner to this bottom corner. So I'm going to pop that in. I can just about line that up with my black line on my board and just go all the way down, and then I should be able to fold that over, burnish that down, and then we've got the start of our twisted easel. Let me just give that another burnish down. So there we go. So that's the start of our twisted easel. So let's put that to the side and bring our trimmer in. So because for this one I want a whole square piece to go on there, I want the whole square to work with, so I need to cut another 6x6 square. So I've just got another card blank here, so I'm just going to cut that down to 12, and if I lay them on top of each other, hopefully they should fit pretty snugly. Just need a tiny bit off there. Sometimes it's better to, if you've got the 6-inch die, then at least you know it's going to be exact. I can work with that. So we've got a piece of card there left over for another time. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to need 2 pieces of gold mirror card. These are the 6x6 squares, and I'm just going to take 2 notches off each end. So I've got that lovely white border that I like. If you want to just pop it straight on and not have that white border, then these are perfectly sized for that. These are the 6x6 mirror mats. So I like these ones just because I don't have, I mean that's the waste I get, and I don't have to worry about keeping that flat or safe to use another time. Okay, and then on my bottom piece, so on the bottom piece I want this beautiful scene. So I'm going to cut this to 5 3/4 square. Now I want to use some of this border on my second card. So I'm going to take 3/4 of an inch off the bottom. And that's going to be for my second card. So just making the most of my cardstock really. And then I can turn that around and go to 5 3/4 square. That should fit nicely. I'll pick it up onto one of our gold mirror mats, and it does. So for the top, I decided to use one of the papers. So on this sheet where the toppers are, it's got this dotty effect in the background, and on the printed papers, they are all double-sided, but I've got that same dotty effect there. So I'm going to use that. You know, Hunkydory have already picked out those colours for me in effect. Okay. So again, this is going to be 5 3/4 squares. This usually does cut quite nicely on my trimmer, so it's not like the insert paper. And then that should fit quite nicely onto there, and it does. Okay, so let's pop these bits out of the way, and that's all the bits for our construction and our layers. So let's start by assembling my card. So I'm going to use a little bit of red liner tape just for strength. I'm just going to pop that down this long edge. Scissors. I'm going to give that a good burnish down. And then what I'll do is I will use some tacky glue over the rest. So it's quite important that you don't glue anywhere above this half, because what will happen is if there's any glue on the underside here, that's going to stick, and then all you're going to have is a super chunky card that doesn't act as an easel. It's just going to act like a normal folded card. So let's just put that down. That's quite nice. So that's going to fit on like so. It closes normally. So do you see what I mean? So if there was any glue there, what that would do is glue that flat. And then all you're going to have is a super chunky side or tent fold card, which is not what we want today. Okay, so let's start assembling the base. So, oh, I forgot to say, the usual glues I'm using. So I've got my Pull-Out All-Purpose in this clear dispenser. Got my tacky glue in this smaller dispenser, and I do tend to use both. If you've watched any of my videos before, you'll know I use the All-Purpose in the centre and then the tacky in the corners. Okay. I might just trim that end off there. It's just not quite straight at that end, but see what it looks like when I've got my layers on. Okay. And the only thing you have to be careful with when using the all-purpose glue is that although I am putting this onto Gold Mirror card, just be careful it doesn't go anywhere where you don't want glue, because if you try and wipe it off, what will happen is it will take the shine off. So I've got a bit of my all-purpose glue, not all-purpose glue there, my tacky glue there, and that's going to brush off quite nicely. But if that had been the all-purpose glue, it would take the shine off that mirror, because there's an alcohol component to it. Okay, and on this occasion what I've done is I've put my my base sheet facing towards me as if it was a side fold card. It's up to you on which way you want to put it. Sometimes I do put it as if it was a tent fold, but it depends on how you want it to sit on a mantelpiece or a shelf or whatever. It can go both ways, but sometimes it does look slightly better one way than the other, so it's just worth keeping an eye on that. Okay, so next layer, just got a bit of string there. So again, tacky glue in the corners, and you can see this is bending, so it's just purely because of where I've got it, it's not supported. And there's only a couple of sheets there, so they're falling forward. When it's a full pack, they're all supported. I did mean to move it after last time's crafting, but I forgot all about it because I was doing some things on cleaning up my computer just to try and make things move a little quicker when I am making the videos, yeah, making the videos, not this bit, the actual editing bit, because yeah, I have to glue bits and pieces together and such like, so it goes a little slow if there's a lot of them there. So what I tend to do is just move them onto a storage disc, all the older videos, because I do like to keep them in case anything happens to my channel, at least then I can just quickly just upload them back up. So I've used the dotty tape pen on this paper. I don't like using the tacky glue on paper because it tends to sometimes bubble up because of that water content in it. But if I use the dotty tape pen, there's just enough stick to keep those corners where I want them to be, which is why I use the tacky glue. And it just makes sure that stays in position for when I am ready to, you know, get going with the next bit. Sorry, coughing again. Okay, so let's bring this in. So I'm going to use this lovely big square, but it's a decorative square image of this beautiful cottage with all these lovely sort of garden roses, English roses on them. We've got loads of sentiments on this one. We've got have a relaxing day, home sweet home, best wishes, with love. I think I might go with the with love. Okay, so let's work on this front first of all. So I'm going to pop all these layers out. In those all the way along. Some of them are a little tighter than others. So I'm not going to do anything more fancy than pop this on. I might go up in that corner a little bit, so we've got the with love. I think I'm probably going to use all of these layers today. See what it looks like though. Obviously I'm going to do different sort of heights and dimensions. Yeah, I think it looks better with the gold, so we will pop gold in. Right, let's grab ourselves some foam pads. So I've got some just companion ones there. These are the same height, they're good. Got those are only 1mm. Some chunky ones, some chunkier ones from Crafters Companion. Sorry, just oops. I think that will do for now. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one. I think I'm going to go with these Hunkydory ones. These are probably about a 2mm one. Leave a piece of paper empty, that's always good, isn't it? And popping these round. And the trick with these is to get them down but without rockling up the paper, so without the paper sort of moving and going into a sort of position where it's not going to be straight afterwards. I think I might have just got away with it, although it was a bit tight on this corner. Okay, so these backs off. So I've decided next time to stay with this magazine, so there's only like one more sheet of toppers left, and then that's the whole pack sort of crafted with. There are some other little things and bits and pieces I could have a little play with, but I'm going to save that. I will play with it again, probably not on camera. I use these little bits up, so they'll probably just go straight onto my Pinterest page. So if you haven't chucked out my Pinterest page before, it's just Sybil Jane's Concoction, exactly the same. Okay, so there's no right or wrong way with this one. The pattern is all over the place, so that's good. So I'm just going to take that, pop that down there. I think the gold, and I did put a bit of tacky glue on the back of those foam pads just to give me a little bit of wiggle room time. So just going to pop some tacky glue on the inside of there. I'm hoping it goes in either way. Seems to be going in quite nicely. So that one's going to be flat. Just giving that a bit of a press down. And then maximum effect. These Hunkydory bricks ones. I love these. Hair on there, I don't quite know why. So these are quite chunky. I'm not quite sure how far up they are. They might be, yeah, 5mm. And these are like little bricks. I love them to pieces. These are my favourite foam pads. I know I've said it a couple of thousand times before. So I'll just get the backs off there. And I've only got like, I don't use them very often to be fair. But I do like using them. Just pop piece in the middle just because I did feel that bit of weakness there and I didn't want to. So again, just a couple of dots of this tacky glue. And then we can pop our house, our cottage back in. There we go. So that is coming up quite nicely. So for this one, I want this to go on this edge. If I want that to go under, maybe I will go under with that one. So I'm going to use this 1mm pad. Just cut that down a little bit. So I found all my little 1mm pads the other day, so I'm quite glad because there's bound to be a decollage soon, this spring one. I think I did see it mentioned somewhere. I don't know whether it was a magazine or somewhere else, but there is a spring decollage. Okay, so now what we need is something to stop that slipping forward. So our little step. So I could make a border using the cardstock, but I did have this foiled greeting that I did. This is a Spellbinders one, and it's in this sort of aqua green, so it's sort of in these similar colours. I'm just wondering, would I be able to get some foam pad on the back? I think I can. What I'm going to do is I've got a plain piece of white cardstock here, so I'm just going to use a little bit of tacky glue and get my hands all nice and gluey. I'm just going to pop that one on the top, so it's just going to give it a bit of strength. I mean, it is 300 GSM cardstock. I think this adorable scoreable. So, and then I've got that white which is 300, so that's going to be nice and chunky. And then I should be able to just pop a bit of this on. To there. So we've got with love, and then we've also got our sending birthday wishes underneath as well. So let's just decide where we want that to go. Didn't put any tacky glue on, so hopefully we'll be okay. Could have done with being a bit straighter. Don't think that's going to come up. No, we're not going to risk it. It's stopping it, which is what it needs to do. So let's just grab a couple of gems. And I think what I'd like to do is just bring in 1, 2, 3, we've got some of these blue gems, because we've got a blue here and we've got these blue tones in it, so we'll bring these blue tones across. And then we're going to put one there, so we've got our 5. So, and these are sort of quite like a aqua-y blue, sort of real pretty spring. Oh, come on now, play the game. What's that one? Live. What's that one? That one. And then just a little one over here. I'm not going to put any on that bottom layer. I'm just going to let that stand as it is. So let's just bring that up. So you can see we've got those aquas and those greens. Bringing that one in. So that's the first one. So let's pop that to the side. I'm just going to clear away a little bit and we'll get set up for card number 2. Okay, so for card number 2, I'm coming in with a piece of 84 300 GSM white cardstock, and I'm going to cut one piece that is 7 by, let me just take the edge off a bit. It's a little bit battered on that corner, so it's 7 by 6. And then I want a piece that's 6 and I want it by 1 inch. We'll pop those out of the way, and then I've got a piece of acetate here, and I'm going to cut this to just under 6, and I think it's just under 6 that way. It's there. And then I want for the back, so this is going to be like a bridge card, so I'm going to do 2 notches under 6 for the back of my card. And then if I've got a piece, well, 2 pieces here, and I want them to be 2 notches under 1 by 2 notches under 6, and again 2 notches under 1 by 2 notches under 6, and then we can come into our cardstock. So for the inside of our card, we need it to be 5 3/4. Oops. And then that is going to be 5 3/4 again. And then this piece needs to be 3/4. Hopefully that should fit onto one of those quite nicely. And it does. And then there should be that other little piece, which if I've cut that correctly, which it doesn't look like I have. Oh no, but it's fine. It is correct. Okay, so those should be all of our pieces and enough that we can get on and decorate. So let's pop those 2 bits to the side. put that to the side, and that and that. And let's bring in our scoreboard first of all. So we've got it with our length at 7 inches, and I'm going to score that at 6. So normally when I do a bridge card, I normally do it around about 2 inches at the top and the bottom, so you've got the smaller piece. But this one I wanted to have more of that background showing through. Put that behind those bridges. So that this cottage, which is quite a long piece, is going to fit quite nicely in the middle of it. So that was the thinking on that today. I did sort of contemplate with going with like half an inch, but I thought that might be a little bit too narrow. Okay, so this is a Crafter's Companion acetate. So one side should have a cover on. There we go. And not all acetate has a cover on. I don't think the Hunkydory heavyweight acetate does. I have got some heavyweight acetate from them, but I couldn't find it. I found the normal one, but it felt a bit flimsy, considering I'm having the narrower borders, top and bottom. Okay, and it's just on one side, so just get rid of that. Okay, so of course all of my workings are going to be hidden, so I'm going to pop one piece on there. And then I'm going to pop a piece on there. It should be enough to hold it, but I will use some PVA as well. So here's my tool. So let's just give that a good brownish down so glue connects. So you can see when you press it down, it goes a little bit darker. So that is always a good sign. Now my acetate is slightly smaller on one side, so that's the way it's got to go on. So I'm just going to put some tacky glue all along. And then what I'm going to do is line that up at the bottom. Bring that over and press down. Just give that a good press down. Okay, and then with this piece here, this is going to go underneath. So again, just pop some little bit of tacky glue. And if I open this card up, pop this exactly where I want it to go, so it should match up with the bottom of the card. I can see it is a little long, so I will need to trim it, and then that can go on. So I can just see there, that's just a little longer, so obviously I must not have taken that little bit off the end, but that's not a problem, it's easily trimmed. Okay, so we'll leave that to settle for a second and we'll work on the inside. So just checking those fit quite nicely, and it does. So again, all-purpose glue, a little bit of tacky glue in these corners. You can pop that on. Just move that into position. Sorry, it's got some strings. I'm just going to turn it around. It just seemed a little, it fit nicely the first time, but this second time it was just a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit hard. Pop a little bit more tacky glue in that corner. Good press down. Okay, and then this piece is going on the inside. If you didn't want to use any of your paper or cardstock, what you could do is print out an insert, because they usually have the design on as well, but in sort of lighter relief on it, so that looks nice as well. Quite often I've used the inserts. Okay, so then now we've got these pieces here. So this is just going to go straight onto the top of here. And then let's move that one out of the way. And then that one is going to go onto the bottom of there. So I am going to use some more red liner tape just because of that acetate. So let's just pop a bit on there and a bit on there. Just give it a good press down. And the same on that side. And what I'm going to do is just bend that over a little bit. Tacky glue on there. Just means I'm going to have a bit of extra time to get this exactly where I want it. Where's my end gone? Come here. And if I can just pull that out from underneath, that's going to give that a good press down. That's just normal PVA glue transferred to my hands because I lost that, and I can give that a bit of a buff. That's going to disappear. Want it to? Alright, oops. Alright, let's try again. Let's turn this round the other way. Give that a good press down. Again, PVA glue. And that's how it's supposed to work, not like the first time. Okay, so then this one we can just go in with our normal glues. Of course, they're no longer on that acetate. And the sky going up above. Okay, so that's our card as it is at the moment. Now, because I have given it that extra bit of acetate because I wanted more of the background to come through, it does mean on the other side you're probably going to see some foam pads. Let's have a little look at sentiment. So I'm not going to be putting that gold one in, so you will still see through that. I think we go with have a relaxing day. Different sentiment. That's probably going to come up in this corner somewhere. Right, let's take all of these layers out and let's have a little look. Okay, So what you can do if you want to just cut, if you haven't got a die cut of that same shape, what you can do is take a little bit of the papers maybe, and I've left the two shapes in there just for a bit of stability. I'm just going to go around roughly with my pencil. Okay, and then what you can do is just quickly cut that one out. Let's just get it roughly first of all. I'm just going to go just on the inside of that pencil line. And if you wanted to do this with white card, you could do, I think it's slightly easier to do this with white card in that the back of this is white. So when I put this blue onto, or the other side onto the back of that, it is more noticeable on whether you've cut this neat or not. But it's just to sort of show you how I would go about hiding that if you want to do that. At the end of the day, I don't think anybody's going to look at the card and go, "Ooh, foam pads on the back of that." Although, saying that, I have been before into a craft shop, a card shop, and liked the card and had a look to see how things were stuck on, but that's different, that's a card shop. Okay, so you can see it doesn't quite match up, but it's as good as you're going to get by hand. Okay, so that's one way of doing that. Let me just pop this gold frame off because we're not going to use that. Like I said, I did want as much as I can to be seen from there. And then let's have a little play with, I mean, we could come across like this. And then that way we don't need that, because we can just make sure we put our foam pads on the sides there. And maybe that at the top. Ooh, I like that. Right, okay, let's go with that. So let's have, we'll go with these. Just going to need this bit here. So I just need to make sure I only put a little bit of foam pad on the top and the bottom. And because we're going to have that openness to it, I just have to make sure I don't put anything where we don't want it to go. So I think that's going to be fine. Now we'll put tacky glue on the back of here just to give it a bit of extra stick. And this is me going off a bit of a tangent, because originally I sort of had decided that it was going to go that way. But I'm liking this idea better, because it just gives it so much more that you can see through. You can really see those trees coming through behind it. Okay, and then I think, let's have a little look. So let's use those same pads. Probably only going to need about that much of them. Yeah, and then the same on there. Okay. Now we have to take the backs off. There we are. Another thing just to be careful of as well is just that every time you touch this acetate with your hands, you're going to be leaving a fingerprint. So that's just another thing just to look out for. Okay, let's put that straight. And hopefully we can get this pretty much straight. There we go. And then this one, I'll come in with these some premium ones, I think. One there, so you shouldn't be able to see it from the other side. A little bit of tacky glue. Then I'll have a relaxing day. Let's have a look at the back. So still looking quite nice and clean behind, so nothing that we need to hide there. If you wanted to, you could go ahead and pop that in, but I think it just doesn't need it now. Now, because we've done it that way, it's looking a-okay. So I think we'll come in with some gold gems, just because I haven't used any on the last card. That's my scoring tool falling on me. Let's have a little look and see what we can do. So I'm thinking, a little bit of glue there. And let's go with these. Two there. I think I'm going to put one bigger one down the bottom here. Maybe that one. Don't want it too big. There we go. Those out of the way. Okay, so let me just grab another little bit of tissue. Just a little bit of tacky glue there on the edge, which was annoying me. Okay, so those, let me just bring that other one in. Those are our two cards. So we've got our lovely little tent fold and our side fold easel. And that's it for today. Like I say, I'm going to come back with this kit again. I am enjoying using it. It is a lovely kit. It's nice. It feels quite springy, so it must have been ready for something springish. It's making me feel quite happy crafting away with this. After this, if I haven't got anything that's been released new, what I might do is come back with the I think it's memorable moments from last year kit, because I did say to you last time I have got a lot of it because I didn't craft with it very much. I think it sort of came in around about the time when Mum was really poorly and I wasn't making videos so much, and then of course she passed away, so you know, I don't think it's really been touched at all. So I really would like to have a little play with that, but that's if the new bits don't come in. I have ordered some new things, but we'll see when they get here anyway. That's not a problem. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, huge massive thanks for the support. I really do appreciate each and every one of you that takes the time and the trouble to subscribe, like and comment on my videos. It's very much appreciated. But until next time, happy crafting. Bye bye.